Hello, I'm going to show you how to add a lomography or toy camera look to your photos. If you're using a digital camera, I recommend using photos that don't have a really high resolution. So if you have one that's like 4,000 by 6,000 pixels like I did originally, that you size it down quite a bit. I don't know if you need to size it down this much, but I went to 800 by 800 pixels. So that's what we're going to use today as a lower resolution photo for this. Go ahead and open up GIMP. And the reason for that is that there isn't enough of a feathering setting in the vignette that we're going to add to our photos um, to overcome the resolution for a high resolution photo. Okay, so the first thing to do is to open up your photo. Open. And then we're going to see if we can sharpen it. We're just going to do this. Help and read online. 1 second. Shh. Control F, sharpen, blur, sharpen, unsharp mask. Okay, we'll do unsharp mask. Debating the filter, enhance, sharpen. So we're gonna do that. Filter, enhance, sharpen, and amount. Woo! It does if you wanted to go crazy, it adds a crazy look, but I don't want to. So let's see. That looks good. I think if you have autofocus on your camera and you let it do its thing, you may not need to worry about this step, but we're going to go ahead and do it anyway. Go ahead and say OK. And then the next thing we're going to do is punch up our colors. We're going to do this before we do the vignette so we don't also darken the vignette. So we're going to go to colors and curves. And we're just going to mess with this curve and make an S shape and just adjust until we like what we see. So that's fine. I don't usually go really extreme. If you wanted to, you could. Woo! I'm gonna keep it pretty minimalist in terms of effects. Okay, so the next step is to add our vignette around the edges. We're gonna make it dark like you would have kind of a bulbous toy lens. Choose your ellipse tool. It's nice that it's right here. I couldn't find it a while back. But if you just say E in GIMP, it selects it for you. So even if you can't find it in this menu, it'll pop up if you push E, letter E. And we just want an even vignette around the photo. You can either do that from within the photo, or if you want a little bit smaller corners, you can do it outside of the photo. So that's what I'm going to do. When you do this, it's actually selecting, well, here first, we're going to show you the feathering. So that means we're not going to have like a harsh line here. It's going to be feathered. And so right under here, under mode, and when I initially did this, feather edges wasn't selected. So select feather edges. And then if you watch over here in the top right corner, you'll see it change from feathered to a harsh line and rotate back to feathered. And maybe I'm just going to do completely feathered. When you initially make this selection, it's actually selecting the inside of the photo, and we want only these corners selected. So we're going to do Control I think, to invert the selection. So watch the image in the top right corner change to black with white corners. Yeah. And once you've made that selection, we're going to keep it selected and go to colors, levels, and we're going to darken those corners a little bit. And like I keep mentioning, I don't like to do anything super, you can go way dark if you like the way that looks, but I don't. So I just want to see that it's dark. Well, this is a good test up here, so you can see that it's a little bit dark. Go ahead and say OK, and we're going to deselect it. And we only have one more step to do, except for exporting it. We're going to add another layer, and I want to add kind of a foggy look over the top, like you would get from a plastic camera. So layer, new layer. I learned in my last attempt we're going to leave the mode as normal, normal, and then adjust your opacity. It's originally set at 100, which means completely opaque. So it's just going to give us a gray layer across the top. So we want to be able to see through it so we can see the photo. So I would just make it pretty translucent. So the further left you go, the more translucent the layer is. But it's nice to see a difference, so we'll see that. And then it says we're going to fill it. And there aren't many options here, but I've chose middle gray. It was fine. It did a great job. Say OK. And then you can already see the sort of foggy look. So if you click this little eye to the left of your filter, you can turn it on and off and see how it looks. And then you can adjust your opacity on that filter a little bit if you want. And that's about it. Oh, the last thing, I guess, when you're ready to post this to Instagram, you can go to File, Export As. So I guess I should note that I cropped the image to be a square first, and then did the edits. If you do this on a rectangle and then you try to crop it, your vignette will be cropped out. So it might be best to crop the image to the shape you want first. So we're going to go ahead and export as, and we're going to export it as a JPEG. Call it whatever you want, save it wherever you want. But if you do this a lot, definitely a good idea to maybe go into documents or pictures and start to build a folder structure. I'm very unorganized, so that's not going to happen. Go ahead and export and double check your settings. I like to keep the quality high. And then we didn't do anything. This is the image, this is the information from my camera, and I'm not too concerned about maintaining that, so we're not going to worry about it. And then we go ahead and click export. And that should be it. You can save this somewhere if you want to, but you don't have to. Have fun.